Hello everybody, it's Tim and I'm here to end your monotony. Hey, how do you do? I warned you that I was coming back, I think. Anyway, today is a cool day because I get to put a period at the end of a sentence. I've been chasing copies of a book called Gothic by Fracassi for what seems like ever. Actually, it's not that long. I've collected some pretty awesome, excellent editions. I've got a limited edition from Earthling Publications. It's just too sweet. I've got a advanced review copy from Cemetery Dance that Fracassi himself hooked the brother up with. I've got a trade softcover copy from Fracassi that he signed for me. Just cool, man. But the one I've been waiting for, I want to say the limited edition from Earthling was the one. But the next one that I was really waiting for was that hardcover trade edition. I like hardcover books. But I ordered a copy from VJ Books. Cemetery Dance published it. VJ Books sells signed first edition books. So I ordered it from VJ. I ordered it from Cemetery Dance. This was last year, August of last year. And the race is on. I assume that the publisher is going to be able to get those books out long before a retailer who's going to get the books, get signature pages, tip them in, and then ship them. But no. Cemetery Dance has not gotten me my book yet, but VJ hooked me up, and here it is. It's in the mailbox, ready to rock and roll. And here it is, and I'm a little bit nervous. The box made it. It's not all busted up. It's in good shape, but it's a little bitty box. Not much bigger than the book, and I feel very comfortable when I get books shipped in great big boxes, and you don't feel anything moving around. I kind of feel this book sliding boom, 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 on both ends because I know that means it's got a little extra room, a little extra cushion, a little extra padding, but this kind of worries me. I'm hoping for the best. I mean, I'm kind of feeling like, man, I finally got it, but now I'm wondering, what's it going to look like when I get it out, when I take it out? But here it is. Let's get that mother out. This one is a signed trade edition of Gothic, published by Cemetery Dance. I bought it directly from VJ Books. And here, they got it wrapped in bubble wrap, and a little bit of bubble wrap folded over on that end. And this end is not really much, just barely goes over. Still hoping for the best. Oh, I don't like busted up books. I don't like dinged up books. Anyway, all right, let's get that out. And hey, I got a March Madness coupon. Say 40%, March 23. Cool, man. I don't know what all the rules and stuff are. We got a bookmark. And there you are. But the main event, the book we've all been waiting for, the book I've been waiting for, is the trade hardcover edition of Gothic. This book, I read the advanced review copy, and I did a review on the channel here a while back. Phenomenal book. So let me talk just a little bit about the book itself. Gothic is looking at the book, sorry, it's hard to talk. Gothic is a book that many folks are reminded of Stephen King from the 80s, the stuff that really made him legendary. This book kind of reminds a lot of people of that, and I'm one of them. But it's a book that reminded me of a lot of things from authors. You got an aged horror author who was once iconic, once very successful, but kind of lost interest in writing horror, lost interest and wanted to write historical fictions. Sounds familiar. I know of an author that kind of fits that bill. But unlike that author, this author's historical fiction, nobody really wants it. And it apparently isn't really that good. And the author now is not making money. And the hopes, dreams, and aspirations are kind of slipping away a little bit. The author's getting down on himself. And his special lady friend, his girlfriend, buys him this very fancy, antique, ornate writing desk to replace his old busted up desk from college. And as soon as he sits down and starts writing at that desk, magic happens. He starts writing things he never dreamed he could write before, and boom, success. But it also comes at a price. So a lot of folks compare this to Stephen King, and I see it exactly, and I dig it. This desk is basically possessing this author, and the author changes. I'll leave it at that as far as the story goes, but I see it and I completely understand, and it's right. This stuff is good. One of the cool things about Philip Fracassi is that his books are not all the same. Now, I've read 3 books from Philip Fracassi. Phenomenal. All 3 phenomenal, but all 3 very different. So when you get an author that's going to give you something very different each time, but each time they're phenomenal, that's an author I can dig. And that's why I say Philip Fracassi is one of my absolute very favorite authors, even though I've only read 3 of his books, and he's just really getting started. So check him out if you haven't. Jump right in. Jump in on Gothic. Jump in on Boys in the Valley. The trade editions will be coming out soon. But jump in A Child Alone with Strangers. Those are in the bookstores right now, and if they're not, it's because them bookstores ain't no good. That's all there is to it. Get a new bookstore. But Child Alone with Strangers is flippin' phenomenal. I think one of the 5 best books I read last year from any genre. Phenomenal book, but I loved it. But here I want to talk about this trade edition book. Philip cut a deal for the trade rights with Cemetery Dance. And they published it in a trade softcover, which came out, I think, when it was supposed to. It came out a while back. And they also sold, long ago, starting last August, sold hardcover copies. Pre-sold hardcover copies, and they were behind. The hardcover copies, actually they weren't. Amazon, they were not only selling them themselves, but they were doing a print-on-demand deal with Amazon. And Amazon started shipping these books out before the release date. So some folks would get the book from Amazon. Wow, I didn't know it was coming. They posted it online, and they posted that the book didn't come with a dust jacket, that the book came with a sort of a laminate over it. It was almost like a sticker. And Philip Fracassi, the author, was very unhappy with that. I guess he had no idea that such a thing was being done. And they pulled it. They stopped selling it. So the ones that were out there that got out first will be the only ones like that. Wish I had one. Anyway, they came up with however Cemetery Dance was going to make them. And here it is. They come up with this. So it's not a laminate. This design, this beautiful Keelan Patrick Burke design is directly on the book. There's no dust jacket there, but it's not like a sticker that's wrapped around it. It's good. I like this kind of book, and it feels soft, but it's not soft. Almost sticky. If you could think of Play-Doh that doesn't flex, that's about how it feels. So it feels nice. It looks so good, and I'm really glad to have it on my shelf, and I'm glad that it's here. I've got a copy coming from Cemetery Dance, but it's not here yet. I think I heard they'll be coming out next month with their batch of books. So anyway, I got one coming from them. I've also got a signed book plate from Philip that I got a while back that will go in that Cemetery Dance book when it comes in. Anyway, that's a long way around the story, but here it is. This looks so good. It almost looks damaged, but it's not. It comes off as an old paperback book with creases and tatters and things like that. That's how it comes off, but it looks so good. And author/artist Keelan Patrick Burke did that cover artwork, and it looks great. And there's the back of the book and the spine. Man, it looks good. I love it. I love it. I'm happy with what I got. And take a good close look at the binding. That is glued binding at its gluteest. Is that a word? Glued binding at its gluteest. And there she goes. So I like what I got. I'm not complaining. If I'd have known this was what I was going to get when I bought what I bought, I'd have bought it. But I really dig it. I'm happy with it. What you don't like is the long way around the block to get where you're going, especially with an author like Philip Fracassi, who is such a good fellow and writes such good stuff. You hate to see stumbling blocks put in front of him by publishers and other folks not fulfilling really what seems like not fulfilling their end of the deal. You hate that, but all good things, because the book is here It is flipping phenomenal. It's a great story. I strongly recommend you buy it. I don't think VJ Books has this book available on their website yet. They pulled it when CD pulled it. So all of them that they sold were all of them that they sold, and I ordered it before they ran into any troubles. CD pulled it and VJ pulled it. And I'm assuming that at some point, once Cemetery Dance starts chucking these books back out again, that VJ will have them available on their website. But I don't know. I can't speak for them. That's just an assumption. And there is my signature. Very nice. Cemetery Dance. What they'll typically do is they'll send a bunch of signature sheets to an author. The author signs them, sends them back, and then they'll tip it in, which is essentially put it in place and glue it. It's tipped in. That's what I know of it as anyway. So it says this specially bound edition has been signed by the author. And that's typically what VJ Books will do. A generic signature page, but it sort of guarantees the authenticity. If you come across a book 10 years down the road and it's flat signed on the title page, that's great. But do you know that it's really signed by who it's supposed to be signed by? There's a whole bunch of fake Stephen King autographs out there. And maybe Philip Fracassi will one day be the kind of guy that people are faking his signature to. I don't want bad things, but that means your signature is highly sought after if people are phonifying it. But when you got it signed on a page that says it's been signed, then it makes you feel a whole lot more comfortable about it. And beyond that, the book is a trade edition. It's not illustrated. And there's what our pages look like. There's the text. It is bold. It is just slightly small, slightly. Not enough for me to complain about, but you can see it. See for yourself what you think of it. The pages are white. They're bright white. It's going to look great on my shelf. I'm very glad I have it. I'm very happy for Philip that these books are getting out there, and maybe at some point he won't have to explain what the holdup is. It's out of his hands. What's he got to do with it? The publishers print the books and get them out. It's out of his hands, but he's having to try to explain the problems to customers and readers and fans and all that. I'll be glad when he no longer has that issue and it's smooth sailing and happy days and all that kind of stuff. But I recommend wherever you can get you a hardcover of this book, go get it. It's good. It's great. It looks good, and it looks great, and it's going to be on my shelf forever. I can think of no more lies to tell, so thank you for your time. I do truly appreciate it. C'est la vie, baby. Doo-doo.